Today is another example of my low-risk brewing technique. I want to try something that I've never done or even ever heard of, this exact kind of scenario, but I was thinking I haven't had a Belgian Dubbel in a long time, but it's summertime and I like to keep them a little bit on the medium side of the alcohol. I didn't want a 7% alcohol or a higher beer that I would be drinking a lot of in the summer. So I decided to try to scale it down. What I did is I took Jamil's recipe out of Brewing Classic Styles and pretty much multiplied every ingredient by about 0.75. I'm just kind of dialing it down to about 3/4. Instead of a 1070-ish type gravity, I'm going for the mid to lower 1050s. One thing that I'm not, actually I'm increasing slightly, is it called for some candy syrup. I bought a pound of this. I'm just going to use the whole pound. But otherwise, it's going to be a standard brew day. I am going to use my Spike Brewing brew kettle for the boil part, but I don't even know how much footage is really to show a brew day, maybe a couple of short clips, and then we'll taste it in the end and see how it came out. We have a lovely morning out here, a light breeze, a beautiful sunshiny day. The little Dubbel was about 1040. I got about 6.6 gallons. So it's 1040 pre-boil, which is good because I was aiming for, around 1055 or so when I'm done. So that gravity will go up, and then this will give me about 6 points. And right now we're working on bringing it to a boil. I don't know if you can see the markings. No, the gallon markings, but it's a little over 6.5 gallons. So see how it goes. All right, it's a pretty nice looking color. It'll look kind of darkerish brown when you have a glass of it. It came in at 1057 is what I'm calling it, which is, could have been a few points lower for the point of this experiment of having a lighter beer, but it's about where I was thinking it would come in. I got a little, you can see my black line right there, that's my 5-gallon line, and it was actually a little over 5 gallons even before I added the liter yeast starter. So if I would have got it down to 5 gallons, it would have been even higher gravity slightly, so that's fine. I might end up with a little extra to put into a little growler or something, but now it'll ferment and we'll come back with the tasting. Alright, so here we are with the tasting of the little Dubbel. It is now July 1st. I brewed it on May 22nd. Oh, also here's Paul.
Hey, how you doing?
That means it is about 1 month and 1 week old. Went from 1057 down to 1011, which is a perfectly good gravity, I think, for this type of beer. It's been in the keg now, 3 weeks. It's a little, it's not overly carbonated,
No.
but it's carbonated. What are you going to do? All right, cheers. Let's try it. Let's see if it's met any goals of making a beer that was easy to spill on yourself. That was Belgian character, Belgian beer, but just not quite as high in alcohol. And to be totally honest, I could have made this lower in alcohol. I got a little extra extract out of the Werman Barca pills, which I've talked about. We'll do that to you. I use 7.5 pounds of that, 0.75 pounds of Munich, 6 ounces aromatic, 6 ounces Cara Munich, 6 ounces Special B, 1 pound of D45 Belgian candy syrup, which the recipe only called for 0.66 pounds. As you remember, I multiplied stuff by 0.75, except for that, which I actually increased. What am I going to do with another half a pound of that stuff? I thought I would just use it. Too bad, so sad. Alright. There's a little bit of a Belgian note in the nose. Trappist high gravity yeast, but I fermented it a little bit on the cool side, so it wouldn't give extra Belgian characters
Oh,
in the nose and the flavor. Like 68.
Okay.
I don't remember the yeast. I don't remember if this thing has a tolerance, but the low end is not much lower than like 65 or 64 or something. So it wants to be a little bit warmer. Otherwise, I personally feel like if I didn't know what kind of beer this was and I drank it, I might be able to guess that it's a Dubbel. It drinks just like it. In all honesty, this experiment would have been a little more successful if it was 5% maybe, or 5.5% instead of the 6% that it came in at, as far as trying to just see if you can retain. We got the neighbor's dogs. It's always the neighbor's dogs. It's often this one right behind us, but it still has all that flavor, just a little bit less alcohol. It still isn't, it really doesn't count as like a session Dubbel.
It's very drinkable. I mean, to me, it drinks like a little over 5. I mean, you can tell there's something there, but it's not heavy. It goes on really easy.
Yeah.
It's got a little Belgian character to it, but like we talked a little bit before turning on the camera, doesn't have like a big Belgian character to it, like a spicy phenomenal thing that they throw off all the time. It's there, but it's kind of restrained.
Different Dubbels, I think, can have that. It can be a little bit of a rustic kind of a flavor in a way, and have more of that Belgian character. And this one just doesn't. I'm gonna see if I can get any of this on the video. I personally don't prefer that type of strong Belgian character. You know what? I take it back. I don't mind drinking it in a commercial beer, but I don't want it on tap. I don't want 5 gallons of it. Or even if I'm like bottling a whole batch, I just don't really want it that strong. So I usually ferment them a little on the cool side. But it totally worked. It's a little bit maybe lighter in color than what I would think of as a Dubbel. I don't know if you were to scientifically come up with whatever color this is, SRM, if it would be in the spec. It's got to be very close. I usually think of them as kind of brownish, and this is very light brown. It's some reddish notes in the sun, but it's got to be close.
Very drinkable, very good, Don. Another success.
Yeah, I mean, people are always making session versions of different beers, mostly IPA, and this is a little bit of an attempt at that for a Dubbel, and I think if I really wanted to, I could get a lower original gravity and really dial that in, but otherwise I'm happy with it. Yeah. It's summertime, it's a lovely day, we're going to try some more stuff, so we'll catch you later. Okay, bloopity bloppity bloopity blow.